What's up, David Kibikwa here with a Premiere Pro tutorial, and today we are going to cover everything you need to know to start video editing in Premiere Pro. It's a big program. So once you fire up your Premiere Pro, you have 4 panels. You have the source monitor there, then you have the project bin, the timeline, and the program. So in the project bin is where you are going to place all your media here, your captions, your shorts, your video, your clips, everything that you want to edit, you are going to place it in the project bin. Then you can resize this one. Then on the right bottom there, we have the timeline. This is where you are going to drag your media you want to edit. This is where you are going to do all the tweaking, the effects that you want to place. Then on the top there, the program monitor, you are going to preview everything that you are adjusting in the timeline. So let's start with importing some files. So hit the import there, then go to your file manager, then select the videos, hit open. For now, let's go with cancel. Another way is by going to the file, import, use the Ctrl+I as a keyboard shortcut, then go to your files. You can control of them, hit open. Let's go with cancel again, and the third is drag and drop, and is the one you are going to use. So go to your file manager, drag your clips into the project bin, and with that done, minimize your file manager. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a video into the source monitor so that I can be able to preview it and select the correct portion that I want to use in my project. So you can preview there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some portions by adding an in point and an end point, and I am going to hit the I for in point, then go further ahead in time, select a segment up to there, then I'm going to hit the O for an output. Then I'm going to drag the picture to drag both the image, the video, and the audio. I can use the audio strip there to drag audio only, or the video strip to drag the video only. So let's drag video only. So once you drag your video there, you can see in your program monitor, you can be able to preview your video before you start editing. As you can see, your video is being previewed. So let's start with adjusting maybe the timeline. You can adjust the timeline if you feel like it's a bit small. So the way you do this, hold Alt, then use your middle mouse button to adjust this until you feel like it's in the right place that you want it to be. Then right there, for me that one works better for me. So let's start with adding some text into our video. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hit the letter T there for title. So hit T, then go into your program monitor, then add your title. So here you can feel free to add any title that you want. For me, I'm just going to add, since this is a Safari Rally car, I'm going to add something like let's say Safari Rally car. Then once that is done, I'm going to the effects control. If it is not there in the source monitor, what you're going to do, let me first of all resize this. So go to your Windows, then down there select the effects and dock it by clicking the right. So in the effects control, this is where you control everything that you are trying to adjust. Now like here you can see we have your video effects. So right there you can see I'm going to delete that one, but you see when you delete the spin, it's going to go away with your title. So retain that one. So as you can see here, you have a lot of options. You can change your font there, your style. You can change everything much in this section. So if you are familiar with the Office suite, this is not foreign. It's where you can play with this one until you get the right thing that you want. This one is not a bit hard because this one is a bit common, especially if you are using the Word, the Microsoft Word. These things are not going to be a bit hard. But what I want to do is I want to enlarge my text and reposition. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to go to the down there. You can see you can change your fill, the color. I'm going to look it there. So what I'm interested in is the scale. I want to scale my text to be a bit higher. So I'm going to do that by dragging the scale. You can see as I am dragging, the text becomes larger. So you can scale here to your liking, but I'm going to do that. Then reposition the width. I want to position the width up to go to the almost to the corner. Then the height, maybe go down there a bit until, so you can play with this one until you feel now that your text is well aligned. So once that is done, I'm going to go to my timeline and hit play and see how it's previewing. So it looks good, but maybe what I can do, I think I need the text to start, then the car to come. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create some space by adjusting the video. Then I'm going to compress the text so that we start with the text. Then as the text, we finish with the text, then the Safari Rally can start, something like that. So maybe I can adjust this one a bit. So that one looks okay with me. So with that done, with the texting done, so we are going to look at something else. You see, you can hit enter for rendering. You see, I like to go rendering because in Premiere Pro you can render in real time. So once that is done, I want to go to my source monitor there, and what I'm going to do is I want to do some animation. And what you are going to animate, you will be animating the maybe text. So, and how we do this, go ahead in time where we want our animation text to appear. So once you mark the point, hit T again for title, and here you can write anything. Also feel free to write anything. For me, I'm going to, since it is at the end of the clip there, maybe I'll go with something like a finishing line, something like that. Then after that, go to effects control. Then I'm going to down there, I'm going to the scale and position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale a bit, then I'm going to hit the position, maybe go to the corner. Then down there I'll go to height, maybe put it a little bit lower so that it does not hinder us from seeing the Safari Rally. Then that is a bit, so to me that is okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is, since the font is the same with our title, I'm going to change the style here. So you can change it here, it's the same as before. So if you are familiar with the Microsoft Office suite, so this should not be a bit hard. So I'm going to highlight my text. Once that is done, I'm going to the font here and I'm going to change my font style. I think something like that will do for me. So once that is done, you can preview source monitor. Then I'm also going to go back and preview, so you can see the title is there. So but it is not well animated as because it is just stuck there. So what we are going to do, we are going to animate this text. So we are going to start at the beginning. So go to the effects control. So everything that has a stopwatch, it means that it can be animated by adding some keyframes. So what you are going to animate here is you are going to, at the beginning of the text there, then I'm going to animate the position. So hit the stopwatch icon to start your animation. So adjust your clip where you want your animation to start, then that's fine with me. Then I'm going to hit the stopwatch, and that what it does, it is going to add the keyframe. So with that keyframe, I'm going to put the position of the text such that it is not visible with the first keyframe. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some few keyframes to review the text as the vehicle approaches. So add another keyframe, maybe reveals a bit of the text. So I'm going to reveal up to that point, go ahead in time, and another keyframe, reveal your text. So this is how your text is going to reveal as you go ahead. So here you are going to mark several points until all your text is animated, so that once the car is approaching, the text is going to reveal itself instead of being just stuck there. So I'm going to finish with the position. I think that is good with me. So right there, let me preview. You can see now your text is revealing itself as the vehicle approaches instead of just being there. So render, save your document. So what I'm going to do is, now that that position is, the animation is done, now once the car approaches, I want to animate the opacity such that our text disappears after our Safari Rally car has passed with keyframes. So I'm going to reduce the opacity, so as it goes down, the opacity of the text starts to fade away. So you can see, add some keyframes, reduce the opacity percentage. You can see it's reducing. Then go until you feel that your opacity has been reduced enough. You can play, you feel free to play with the opacity here. So with that one, I think I'm just going to add a final keyframe, and I'm going to hide the opacity completely. So you can see now your text has disappeared. So let's preview. You can see that looks good. It reveals itself, then all of a sudden the text goes. So render your files. I keep on rendering to preview swiftly. So you can preview there. Put the at the beginning of the title. So what we are going to do now, we are going to add some transition, and we are going to go to the effects. I want to put at a smooth transition between the text and the Safari Rally car. You can see the text is just, it's not revealing the vehicle in a good manner. So I'm going to go to my effects, search for close dissolve right there. Or another way to do it, if you don't want to search, you can go to the video effects, then go to transition. Then in your transition, you can enlarge that tab. Then you are going to see a bunch of effects. So but for now, to make things faster, I'll just go with type. You can type close dissolve down there. Then I'm going to add my close dissolve into my the video, the Safari Rally video, so that at least it fades in as the title ends. I'm going to add again in the title, so that both of the clips are going to fade to dissolve in one another as the title begins. You can see that appears to be a bit better. The video is fading in as the Safari Rally is approaching. Maybe I'm going to adjust this one a bit so that it's a bit bigger, the title is, so that we can be able to read before it disappears. So you can see the red line there. It is showing that part of the clip is not rendered. So once that is done, I'm going to hit render. Now you can see I can preview my clip swiftly without glitches. So what I'm going to do now, after that, we are going to add some effects. So, and the way we are going to do this is going back to the effects tab there, and we are going to add some multiple effects into our clip. So right here in the effects, I want to start with maybe start with an effect that goes to the video. So I'm going to start with an effect that is, let's say we can go with something like fast color correction. So I want to adjust the color of my video. So I'm going to fast color, then add it to my video, then head to the effects control. So in your effects control, you can see this wheel. This is the wheel of color. No, don't get some ideas like this is the wheel of fortune. This is the wheel of colors. So in here we are going to adjust the color of our video. So I'm going to adjust that, the source monitor there, so that I can be able to adjust the color to my liking. So you can play with this one. So once you pull that strip there, you can see as you rotate it, it keep on changing to the color that is highlighted. So you can play much with this one until you get the color that you want. If you go down back there, you see no color is selected. So what you are going to do now, I'm going to look for a color that is a bit appealing to me. So you can play with this one until you get the best results that you want. So what I think what I'm going to do is, you can play with the angle, you can play with the balance. You see we have a lot of things here. Down there we have the brightness level. You can play with this one, the way the exposure, how it's going to expose our clips. So we can play with this much until you get the best results that you want. So what I want to do is, I want to animate the color just as we animated the text. So, and we are going to do this by going to our timeline. Let's say maybe as the color reviews, we are going to have different color exposures. So how we are going to do this, you by the keyframes. Remember the stopwatch, anything that we has a stopwatch can be animated. So let's go at the beginning of the clip there. I think there, that's better. So, and I'm going to adjust the color there. Maybe pull the lever a bit to the greenish, maybe there, until, so pull the, you can feel free to play with the lever until you get the best color that you want. So I'm going to animate all of this. So you can animate one of them, but for me I'm just going to animate all of them for the purpose of animating. So go ahead in time, add a different color. So play with the lever until you get a suitable color for you. Go ahead in time again and add another keyframe. So you can see now that one goes back to normal. So I'm going to adjust my lever there ahead in time so it has the normal color. So on the finishing then, I'm going to add another color, maybe go with some greenish, yellowish. I think that one, that is, it's okay with me there. So just adjust this lever, feel free to tweak your color the way you want. Then maybe go to the beginning and the preview. You can see different colors are being reviewed as the video progresses. So what you are going to do now, with that done, I'm going to resize back my project bin so that I can go to the effects again, and I'm going to add some more effects. So with that done, the wheel of colors, not the wheel of fortune, it looks much like the wheel of colors, but let's call it just the wheel of colors, but you can adjust there. So I'm going to do some blur so that at least once the title goes, so that we don't see the car coming. So I'm going to add some blur at the beginning and at the end. So by that I'm going to add the blur here. You have the first blur in and the first blur out. So I'm going to add the first blur in at the beginning of my video clip. Then I'm going to add the first blur out at the end of the clip, such that at the beginning of the clip the video is blurred, then it's going to reveal itself as the time progresses. You can see in your effects control you have all the blur settings. So maybe you can preview here. You can see now at first we don't see, we are like Safari Rally car and you can't see the Safari Rally, then it gets revealed. So You can even animate the blurriness just as we have animated the color and the text. So you can do the animation. Once you see this red line, it means that our clips needs to be rendered, otherwise you are going to have a very weird preview. So you can see, so I want to adjust the level of blurriness, so I want to go to the finishing there. The blurriness is a bit, it's hidden the text, the finishing line before it disappears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the blurriness here. So to do this, I'll go to the first blur out effects, so down there, and I'm going to adjust the blurriness. So go to where you want the blur to start, and there you can see the text is very blurred. So I'm going to adjust here up to the finishing line there. Then I think that point is okay. So there I'm going, you can see the word is there, but it is very blurred and we want to see it disappear. So adjust the blurriness, reduce the blurriness, take it back to normal so that the text appears very correctly. So with that I can preview. You can see, so after the text has disappeared, now that we have the blur begins our clip. So what I'm going to do is the finishing line text is a bit larger. Instead of, once I extend the length of the video clip, it's going to add more time. So I'm going to resize the text so that it matches there. So that seems okay with me. So as I keep on saying, you can play this to your liking, keep adjusting them. So once that is done, now you can see the Safari Rally car. You can preview there. You can see as you are previewing with the red line, it's a bit. So what you are going to do, we are going to go to color grading by hitting the color, and you have the geometric color effects. You can play with these ones also. So we have a lot of options, the conduct. So once you click it, you can see in the program monitor the effects, how it's changing. You can see, so you can play with these ones until you get the correct color of your liking. So we have a lot of these down there. There are quite a lot. So play with these ones until you get the perfect one. You can even go to browse if you have your own color effects, but for us we are just going to stick with the effects here. So maybe I can go with the Fuji antenna. Maybe it's not bad, it's better. I can compare the clip in the source monitor and the program so that you can spot the difference. Play with these ones here, the sharpness, the faded feeling, we have the vibrance, the saturation. Then down there we have the shadow tint. You can play with this one. Just hold down your left click and hold down, then start to adjust the levels of these colors. You can see it has a lot of colors, so adjust your color to where you want your shadow to. Then we have the highlight. You can also go there and adjust it. So hold down, left click and hold down, then start to adjust your color. So play with this one until you get the perfect color for you. You can see in the geometric color effect, this is where you do your color grading. It has a lot of options. You can go down there to the HSL secondary. Here you have the denoiser, you have the blur, temperature, you can do the sharpness, the saturation, the contrast. You can play with these ones until you get the perfect result that you want, but for now I'm going to leave them at that. You can see, so now I'm going back to my editing. So that's where you do your color grading. then go back to hit editing to go to editing mode. So oh no, my computer hanged. So it happens a lot with Premiere Pro. It's a very heavy program, although its heaviness is very worth it. So I'm going to hit render. As you can see, the more effects, the more tweaking you are doing, the more frames our clips is having, and the more the render time it takes. So it's good to render in real time so that at least the rendering is a bit short. You can see now my frames are increasing. So this one sometimes it can take time, but it depends with the computer that you are using. Some computers are fast, some are slower. So with the computer that you are using, the time is going to vary. So you saw in the beginning our variance, our time variance was we were rendering fast. Now that we have added a lot of effects, a lot of transition, have done color grading, the blurriness, our frames have increased, and that's why the render time it's a bit taking a lot of time, but you are going to get there. It has taken 16 seconds. No, 16 seconds. You can see estimated time, and we are almost there, almost done. Now the rendering is okay. Now you can preview your clip swiftly. You can see now the colors we have added, we have animated the color, the text, the blurriness. So the final thing that we are going to add before we export is audio. We are going to look at audio. So add your audio into your timeline sequence. So once your audio is added, you can see that my audio is very long. It's way wrong than the text. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize the audio. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to add some cuts using the razor tool, or you can hit C on your keyboard. So hit C or go to the razor tool. Then I'm going to add multiple cuts. So you can go and do your cuts, multiple cuts in your audio. So do some cuts. So these cuts are going to help me to delete the clip that I don't want. So hit V to go to selector mode and hit delete. So you can see as I hit V and delete, I'm deleting the part of the audio that I don't want and I'm not interested with. Now that the audio has been adjusted and it's now fitting the clip, the size. So what I'm going to do is pull down the audio level there. You can put the mouse into the audio, then use the mouse wheel to scroll down. You can see the line and there is left and right. So once you pull the line upwards to the left, the volume of the audio increases, and once you pull the volume of the line to the R or the right, the volume decreases. So the line is used to lower and increase the size. So I'm going to the effects control at the volume, and you can see here we have the level which is being animated. As you can see, the stopwatch is highlighted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate the audio. Since now we are already familiar with what is animation and how to do some keyframes, so I'm going to animate my audio. So I'm going to decrease the level of audio. So you can see now you can increase the hold down Alt, then use the middle mouse button to adjust the length of the timeline. So I'm going to add some keyframes so that you can see that I'm going to lower some audio. You see sometimes in your audio there are times you want the audio to be slower, other times the audio to be high, and you can do that perfectly with adding some keyframes where you can increase the volume, decrease the volume using the keyframes. So I'll go and add several keyframes. As you can see now with my keyframe, it shows that I have added. Then I go further in time, add a keyframe, maybe increase the volume. So you can see now from at the beginning of our clip, the volume has increased rapidly. So what you are going to do is I'm going to add another keyframe and decrease the volume. Now you can even hold the keyframe in the timeline and start to adjust. You can see you can move it, you can tweak this one to your liking. You can now preview and you can see in the audio is increasing. You can see here in the bar there that the audio is increasing. So you can play with the animation of audio to see how your audio is going. So I'm going to resize the timeline again, so you can see my audio there. So you can see the way the keyframes are. It's like it's in a graph. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to export now. So I'm going to hit file, go to export. I want to export it as a media. The other way you can use this one is you can just hit Ctrl M or Command M in Mac and go to import media. You can see there are other different options for importing, but you are going to go with media. So once you go to export, you are going to get this window here. I'm going to resize the video so that I can be able to see everything about the export settings and any other details. So you can see the screen there. So what I'm interested with is the format. So you can change the format whichever you want here. Maybe for now let's select maybe H264, the MP4 format. Then the preset. So the preset you can select to whichever you are doing. We have a lot of preset here. We have the Twitter, you can see YouTube, Vimeo. We have high quality. If you select YouTube, it goes there. So maybe you can for this one you are going to choose whichever according to what the purpose of the video is. You can see you have Facebook, Twitter, but for us, since we are doing the YouTube, I'll just go with the YouTube 1080p since my clip was shot at 1080 pixels. So you are the output here. You can change the where your output file is going to be placed. So once you go to your file manager and decide the output is okay, you go select and maybe click save if it is a new format. Now you can see the output and the source. But what I'm going to do with the output, I'm going to change the destination. I'm going to my video effects. You can see now the destination has changed. So I can go down there and you can see the width and the height, 1920 by 1080 pixel. That's okay, the same as my source video. So if you want to see the more features, click summary, the height there, go down there. We have a lot of settings here, so choose the settings according to your liking. So you can come here, you can choose the target bitrate. For me, I'm going to just narrow it down to something like around 9 to 11, between there. Then the maximum bitrate I can go with 12, or you can leave it at that, the default settings. So just play with these ones until you get whichever bitrate you want. Then if you want to do multiple renders, you can hit Q. If you want to go back and edit this, you can do that in export. But since we are editing on this video, we are going to go with the export option and hit export. It is going to estimate the time and your video will be exported. So that's it for me today, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to more of my videos. I'm going to be doing more of this. Moved in a very slow pace because it was our first time together in Adobe Premiere Pro. Now since we have familiarized ourselves with where everything is, how to do things, now we are going to move to more advanced things. And now our pace will increase a bit, not faster, but our pace will increase so that we can move together. So please guys, subscribe and so that you can be notified with my other videos. I'm going to be doing videos in Premiere Pro, After Effects and Photoshop, and more is going to come. So hit the like button, subscribe, share and hit the bell notification if you like. Thanks guys for your time. Love you.